Hey there, lovely people. Welcome to Be Your Best You with Tash and Becky, your go-to hangout for all things spiritual, subconscious, and downright magical. We're here to sprinkle a little mystical wisdom into your everyday life and help you level up your reality.
Picture this as your cosmic coffee date, where we chat about the unseen world, blend in some psychology vibes and stir up the subconscious magic. Get ready to be the queen of your own reality, live a life that lights you up and have a blast doing it.
So grab your latte or your tea and let's dive into another episode of Be Your Best You, where the mystical meets the mundane and your best life awaits.
Cheers to creating magic together.
Let's do this.
Hello!
We're back for another episode of Be Your Best You with Tash
and Becky.
And today, we've got a good one.
Yeah.
We've got a magical one.
It is.
We're going to be talking all things manifesting and the good old law of attraction.
Yes.
So this is obviously a massive topic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So think of this as your kind of law of attraction manifesting 101, like an introduction to, because there's going to be loads of episodes where we cover this and we can get more specific.
Yeah.
Because we were just having a conversation before we started recording, didn't we? And we were basically just saying, at the end of the day, manifesting is everything. It always comes back to manifesting, doesn't it? Because we are powerful creators.
Yeah.
And we are manifesting every single day, every minute of every day. It's what we've come here to do, in my opinion.
Yeah.
from the kind of world that I'm in and how I work and the things that I've seen and experienced. We just need to know how to do it in a conscious way.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, it's only a couple of years ago that I even heard anything about manifesting. I had no idea what it was. And yet we've been doing it our whole lives, haven't we?
Exactly. That's the thing.
And then everything makes sense when they say you're creating your own reality. That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, you could ask, so what is manifesting? Manifesting is literally taking something, an idea that is held in your mind, in your thoughts, and making it manifest, which means appear in the physical reality. So everything that we see here, that you see in your world, that you're experiencing in your world, in your life, first started as a thought.
I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? Look around you, everybody. Everything around you, you've created. That's amazing, isn't it? Through your manifesting.
And if you haven't created it, someone else has. Like if you're in your kitchen right now, look at your kettle. At some point, the concept of a kettle was sparked within someone's mind as a thought. And then they, over time, manifested it into the physical.
I love that.
I know, I do love it.
Yeah, it just makes so much sense. But one thing I would say that I've learned with the manifesting is that it's not only visual, but very much a feeling around that manifestation.
Yeah. That is because you're an advanced student of manifesting now. So that is definitely the most important thing. It's the biggest misconception, I think, because everyone thinks you just have to visualize it and then it appears. It's not about what you see.
No.
Let's face it, a lot of us aren't visual. It is how you feel. It's definitely our feelings that will inevitably manifest something. But that's definitely something that we'll probably talk more deeper and more specifically. It is worthy of its own podcast episode. But yes, that's a very good point. It is about the feeling, and people don't understand that. But so, where do we even start? I suppose the thing is manifesting is a bit of a buzzword now. It's a bit of a trendy topic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a lot more, like you said, you hadn't even heard of it a few years ago.
No, I don't.
Neither would I, to be fair.
No.
Like, I didn't know what manifesting or the law of attraction was probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
but weirdly enough, now we talk about it, we were aware that we actually were doing it, and we knew we were doing it. We just didn't realise it was a thing, and that's what it was called. But anyway, so it's a bit of a buzzword now. More people know what it means, but I think with that, it's been kind of made a bit gimmicky. People have, like you brought up about the feeling, people just have taken it kind of way too far and then just say, well, I'm just going to visualise that I've got £5 million in my bank and it's going to just appear.
And then they say, oh, well, that didn't work. That's not real. Manifesting isn't real.
Exactly. And no, that's not, there's so much more to it than that. But what you have to know is, like we said before, is that you are always and have always been manifesting. Just because of who you are. You are a creator.
And can I ask you, Tash, as well, when you're talking about manifesting, can you also be manifesting negative things?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. When you don't when you don't consciously, that was a mixture between conscious and manifest. When you aren't consciously manifesting, unfortunately, as human beings, our default is to manifest what we don't want. And this is this conversation I have with my clients every single time we start the programs that I work in. Like, unfortunately, you have been manifesting what you don't want. But that's okay, because once you realise that and you learn how to become conscious and how you can control your manifesting, just as easily as you've been manifesting the negative things, you can manifest the positive things. And, you know, I always say, like I refer all the time back to kind of caveman times, primitive times. We had to always be on alert. We were just trying to survive. You know, things were going to kill us all the time. And so our innate biology, you know, has been primed to look out for things that are going to, you know, kill us. Danger. Danger, you know, things that are going to, you know, put us in danger. That's right, our safety. And so then we always have like a negative spin on things, because it comes from that. It comes from having to be aware and be aware of dangers. But we don't live in the jungles anymore. We don't live with saber-toothed tigers and you know, things that are going to kill us around every corner.
Yet we're still coming in with the same bodies and the same minds, so that's where it can get confusing.
And you know, our saber-toothed tigers are now mortgage payments. You know, they're like problems at work. They are stresses with our relationships. Our body is still reacting as if they are the dangers. And so all of that to say is, you know, our biology, who we are as a biological creature, is to be primed to look for the negative. But we don't have to live like that anymore. And this is what, you know, I am trying to do with all the work that I do, is to let people know, make people aware, and then help people to understand that concept firstly, because you have to know of that concept to be able to then take control and say, well, I want to make it different. And then set about going about the ways to start having a conscious manifestation towards positive things, towards the things you want. So let's talk about then the law of attraction. That is spoken about a lot in terms of manifesting. It's like the law of attraction and manifesting. But that's actually just one universal spiritual law that's involved. There's actually more. There's the law of vibration, the law of resonance. We've spoken about these in our other podcasts as well, haven't we? They all play a part in manifesting. And this is why the first episode had to be everything is energy. If you're listening to this podcast now and you haven't listened to the first one, go back and listen to the very first episode 1, everything is energy, because it sets the scene for who we are and the world that you are living in and what we effectively are, which is energy. We are all vibrating atoms, vibrating at different levels, different frequencies, and that is the world that we live in, even though we can't see it. And so many people don't realise this, but when you realise this, manifesting, the law of attraction and all the other universal laws just make sense.
They do.
It all makes sense when you realise that, and you can use that to help you with the manifesting. So if we say everything is energy, that also means that not only are we made of energy, and, you know, this microphone we're talking through is made of energy, the chairs we're sat on is made of energy, your thoughts are also energy. Yeah.
Amazing. Which again, you can't see, so people don't acknowledge.
No. But this is why, you know, when you walk into a room, so emotions are energy as well. We've already said this. Like, emotions are energy in motion. Everything is energy. And it's why when you walk into a room, you can kind of get a sense of, like, what's going on in here? Something's happened. You could cut the tension with a knife, you know? It's because we are picking up on the energy in that room. So we have an energy field, our aura, and our aura is interacting, our energy, our own personal energy field is interacting with the field around us, the field that we live in, this empty space that we call space, which isn't space, and it's definitely not empty.
No.
But we are interacting with it all the time. And, you know, this is why psychics and mediums and people who are sensitive to energy are able to do what they do, because they are just more aware of what is going on in this unseen energy field. But we all have that ability. We all have it to some degree. It's just some people are better at using it and more sensitive to it than others, but you can absolutely learn and you can hone it and you can become more sensitive. And that's definitely something we're going to be talking about later in other podcasts too, like how you can get access to this this like incredible information that you don't even realize you have like access to. But that's a for another day. So, okay, let's go back to then your thoughts and your feelings are vibrating. So when you think a thought, it sends out a vibration.
Right.
Like, it sends out these waves into the universe, into this field that we can't see, but that is all around us, that is interacting with us. Okay. And so, oh God, we could get really deep here. This is like, how deep do we go into quantum physics?
Right.
But basically, everything exists right now. Every possibility of everything you can imagine exists in this universal field right now. Okay, so there's a possibility of me, I don't know, becoming a movie star.
I'd love to see that.
Or there's also a possibility of me becoming homeless. There's a possibility of me having another baby. Oh my God. No. Right, but okay, so you get my point. There is every single possibility exists in the field. Right? Of potential. This limitless field of potential. Good, bad, whatever, like we said before, there's no good or bad, it's just all neutral. It's just how, you know, some people, their potential of having a baby would be wonderful. To me, it's not so wonderful, but there are all good and bad, in inverted commas, potentials out there. They are all waiting, right, at a certain frequency. So when you're manifesting, when you put out a thought, so say if I wanted to be a movie star, right? So say I wanted to be a movie star. Why did I go with this? My God, I have to see it through now, don't I? Say I want to be a movie star, okay? I then, if I wanted to manifest that, okay, all I would have to do is start thinking that thought. I'm going to be a movie star, right? That's the first step. So all of a sudden, I'm sending out this vibration into the field, which is looking for the same vibration that exists out there in that field to match. Okay. Right. So it will do it. It's inevitable. The law of resonance, the law of vibration states that, and the law of attraction, like attracts like. It states that if I put out a vibration, the same vibration, a matching vibration, will have to be attracted to me. That's it. That is the law. That is the law. But this is where it then gets, it's not as simple as that. Because if we all just thought, I want to be a movie star, everyone would be a movie star, you know, or we all thought, I just want to have £5 million in the bank. We would all have that. Then this is where your feelings get involved, right? The feelings, like you said before, are what gives the power to the manifesting, right? So again, let's go back to me thinking about being a movie star.
Yeah.
I then need to get my feelings involved.
Okay.
So how do I do that? That is why we then start visualizing.
Yeah.
Because, and I use the term visualizing loosely because, again, I am a visual person, but I am very aware a lot of people aren't visual. So then people think, well, if I can't visualize, I can't do it. How can I do it? It's not, you don't have to see it.
No.
You just have to experience it somehow in your mind to invoke a feeling. Yeah. So for me, I would start seeing myself on billboards. Yeah. I'd start like seeing who my co-star was. I would start seeing myself go to movie premieres, right? Yeah. The whole point of doing that would be to get that feeling of excitement, right? To live it like it was actually already happening in my mind. Okay. Right? There's things you need to know here, okay? Right. Your subconscious mind, which is what we're playing with here. This is the whole thing with manifesting. Your subconscious mind has a big part to play. Yeah. Okay. If your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. Right. It just knows what you tell it and how you're feeling about it. Okay. So let's do a little experiment. If you're not driving and you can, just for a second, close your eyes. You can close your eyes, Bex. Okay. Close your eyes. Right. Okay. So I want you to imagine now that I am holding a lovely juicy lemon in my hand, right? Yeah. And I want you to experience that lemon however you will experience it. So you might see it. Yeah. You might be able to see the yellow colour, the little dips in the skin, right? Yeah. But you can feel it as well. Feel those dips, like run your fingers over that lemon skin. It feels a little bit waxy. You can feel the little bumps in it, yeah? Okay, so really experience that lemon. If you can't see it, if you can't feel it, just know that it's there. That is okay. Like that is...
Could you smell it?
Absolutely smell it. I'm going to cut it in half now. Yeah. Now you can smell it. Because it's all the juice. Just imagine that juice as I've cut it. Yeah. I'm squeezing it a little bit and the juice is running down my hand. Oh, it's a bit sticky. But yeah, like see the inside, see the little segments. Yeah. Okay. I want you to take that lemon and sniff it. Really big sniff. Smell that citrusy scent. Right, okay. Now, I want you to imagine that you take a big bite out of that lemon. Bite into that juicy lemon. Feel the taste. Now, do you notice that you have produced a little bit of saliva in your mouth? Yeah? Maybe like you got that, you know what I mean? Like with the bitter tart taste, yeah? Right, okay. You can open your eyes now. There was no lemon, was there? There was no lemon there, but you had the experience like you just ate a real lemon.
And we had a physical experience with the saliva.
Exactly. Because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between whether you really have that lemon or whether it doesn't, if it's not there, it doesn't matter. Right? And this is the problem, right? So this is the amazing thing, but it's also the problem because this is where manifesting goes wrong. Because, well, let's go back to what we were talking about of how we always tend to think negatively. You are doing that when you have a presentation at work and you're worrying, you get nervous and you think, oh, I'm gonna mess up my speech. I'm gonna be sweaty. I'm gonna stumble on my words. And what you don't realize is you are creating a picture. You are creating that experience, just like you created your lemon experience. You're creating that experience in your mind, and your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference, right? So you are literally bringing that into your reality. Your subconscious mind does what it's told, and it will set about giving you what you want. Okay, so when you are picturing these things, you're putting these thoughts out there, you're having these feelings, all it goes is like, right, okay, you want more of this, I'll give you more of this. I will find ways to give you that. So then you go and do that presentation that you've rehearsed in your mind, that you've given your subconscious as a blueprint of what you want. Yeah. And then you're more than likely gonna start stumbling on your words. Yeah. You're gonna, get nervous and feel anxious and sweat, and it's not going to be how you wanted it to be. But in your subconscious's mind, it's exactly how you wanted it to be, because that's what you told it to do. This is why, you just need to learn that it can be a different way. Yeah. So when you're doing a presentation, you can be aware that, right, okay, I'm thinking worst case scenario here, and I'm programming my subconscious mind. What can I program it with instead.
Yeah.
And then you can see yourself standing, up in front of your audience, standing tall, being confident, speaking articulately, having it flow, having everyone clap at you. And your subconscious mind doesn't know whether that's real or false. It just takes that and goes, oh, okay, that's what you want. This is how I'll help you do it.
Wow.
And it will automatically set about putting things in place to get you there where you want to be. Right, so this is how powerful your mind is. And this is how you manifest. And this is manifesting unconsciously and consciously.
Yeah.
So let's go back. And so you're bringing up your thought, which is sending out a vibration.
Yeah.
Then you are visualizing or experiencing it in your mind, like we did with the lemon. That creates a feeling. Okay, and then that feeling, almost like it boosts that signal, that vibration that you're sending out into the universe. Which means that then you are aligning yourself with the frequency of me, in my case, Tasha, who's a movie star. Because at the moment I'm not at a vibrational frequency. I'm not at a vibrational match to being a movie star. One, because I actually don't want to be. But because I'm not thinking about it, I'm not feeling it. It doesn't excite me. I don't want it. I'm not sending it out there. However, if I started doing it, if I started thinking about it, feeling how it would feel to be a movie star, like I said, with the visualization, I would change my frequency. I would change what I am, how I am vibrating, and I will align myself with the frequency of Tash being a movie star. And then it will have to manifest into my life. It is the law. It is a spiritual, universal law that which you resonate with and you wish to bring into your life will come into your life as long as you are resonating with it and there's no blockages. So that is put simply. Very, very simply, by the way, and if there's any quantum physicists out there listening to this, I know that is a very, very simplified version. But in order for you to understand what's happening here on like an energetic level, I think that will suffice.
That's what we need.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the concept of manifesting, basically. And then there's loads of things that kind of get in. If it, like I said, if it was easy enough to say, this is the thought I'm putting out there, this is the feeling with it, and now it's going to come to me, life would be amazing, wouldn't it? We would all be walking around doing everything that we want to do, living in, in exactly the way that we want to, that makes us happy, and it would just be wonderful. Then those limiting beliefs get in the way, right? So these are a major block to manifesting. And it's like you are fighting against these vibrations. Your limiting beliefs are getting in there and knocking your vibration at every point, so can we come up with a better
you don't like
being a movie star? I can't. Okay, all right, fine. It's like, if I'm trying to think about being a movie star, and then I'm starting to visualize it, and I can see myself with Brad Pitt. No, Leonardo DiCaprio. I can see myself with Leonardo DiCaprio.
She's got all flustered now. Oh God.
Yeah, right, okay, so perfect example, so I'm seeing myself with Leonardo DiCaprio, and then all of a sudden this limiting belief comes in and goes, you'll never, that's not going to happen.
No.
You can't act. He's an amazing actor. Like, don't be stupid. You can't be an actress. You haven't had any acting classes. You've never done acting in your life. Oh, what's happening to my frequency? I was just up there just a second ago vibrating with that version of me who was a movie star, and then all of a sudden that limiting belief has come in and it's dropped my vibration, and I've come back out of alignment. And this is where
it gets hard.
Exactly. This is where it becomes a slog. And people who you guys listening who already know about law of attraction and manifesting and have been trying to do it, this is where you're coming to a full stop. Let's bring it back down more into reality, right? So say you're in a difficult relationship and you want to leave the relationship. You can do better you think you can do better, you don't particularly believe it, but you think you can, you want to, and yet, you know, you can almost picture the perfect person who you would want to be with, and then a belief comes in and says, no one's going to want you, you're too old, you've got kids, that's for fairy tales, you know, get into the real world, this is your fault. You know, all these different beliefs that stop you from believing, or from aligning, I should say, with that version of you that does have a happy relationship, that has a partner who treats you the way you want to be treated, etc., etc. Yeah, and these limiting beliefs will stop you from manifesting that. And what does that look like? How does that play out in your behaviors? You know, you won't speak up for yourself because you don't believe in yourself. You won't speak up for yourself. You won't put yourself out there. You won't say, you know, this behavior is not acceptable, I'm not willing to accept this, I deserve more, because you've got a limiting belief that says that you don't deserve more, that you aren't enough, that this is the best that you can get and you should be grateful for it. And this will stop you from aligning with that version of you that absolutely exists out there. She's there, and it's there waiting for you. Which is why when you start identifying these limiting beliefs and you start working on healing them, getting to the root of why they are there, and then replacing them with these other powerful empowered beliefs that say, I am worthy, I am enough, I will speak up for myself, I deserve to have a person that treats me this way, then you're able to manifest that into your life. Because when you are putting that thought out there of that perfect partner that you know, with all the attributes that you want, and then you visualize yourself with that person, there's nothing there coming in to block you and take those feelings away from you.
No.
And so then it will happen. And you don't have to understand how it's going to happen.
No. You
just have to trust. Now, this is another thing.
Yeah, letting go of all the hows.
Exactly. So, yeah, hopefully, do you think that's explained, like, the basic principles of manifestation?
Definitely,
yeah. So that's how you do it. And then there's so many pitfalls. Again, like we could go into separate episodes about that. But another one is this surrender, like you said, and trust that it's actually available for you and this actually works.
Yeah.
Because again, this is a limiting belief. Manifestation doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Manifestation isn't real.
Yeah.
Or manifestation works for other people, but not for me. That's a limiting belief, and you want to get rid of that right there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, manifesting absolutely works. There's no work. It's always working. You're doing it right now. Everything, as you look about you, the world that you're living in, everything around you,
come from.
Yeah, you've created. Yeah. It's come from you and your set of beliefs that you hold right now. And again, this comes back a little bit to this taking personal responsibility, doesn't it? If you don't like where you are right now, it's not about putting blame on yourself.
No.
It's not like, oh, this is your fault, this is where you are. No, absolutely not. It is just about accepting that because of my past experiences, whatever's happened to you, I have formed a set of beliefs, and it's not all just about your past experiences, as we spoke about in the last episode on limiting beliefs. It's, you know, ancestral, it's societal. There's all kind of factors at play which create your limiting beliefs. But because of these past experiences, and all the other factors, you have manifested your life through this set of limiting beliefs, this lens of your limiting beliefs. It's your framework for creating your reality. And that is as simple as that. And like I said, there is absolutely no blame. And I know this can be really hard it can be so hard for some people to hear, especially if you are in circumstances right now which are making you really, really sad and painful or difficult, or like all of it. It's not about the blame. It's about taking personal responsibility and understanding that you have so much more control than you believe, and you can change it at any time. And that's the message that I really just hope everybody gets from this manifesting and law of attraction thing. It goes so much deeper than wanting to manifest a bigger house, wanting to manifest the love of your life, wanting to manifest holidays. It's so much deeper than that. It is about everything that you experience for this short amount of time you are on the earth. And I want you to know that you can control what you bring into your life by looking within you, seeing what lens you are looking from, and knowing that you can change it at any time. You can change that lens and create from those new lenses, and it will create you a new reality. That's it. It will.
You've seen it.
I've seen it. I've done it for myself. I've seen it in the countless numbers of women and men that I've worked with. I see it time and time again, and that's great for me because I have a solid, firm belief and knowing. Like, I struggle to call it a belief because a belief suggests that it's not real or it might not be true. But I have the knowledge that this works, and I hope that it inspires you. If you are in a difficult circumstance right now, you don't have to stay there. You can do something to get yourself out of it. Even if you feel like you can't, like, don't look outside. Look in. And that is where you need to start to start manifesting what you truly want. And that's not the house or the car. You need to look deeper into, you know, you want freedom, you want to feel love, you want to feel peace. Get to the root of what you want. Why do you want that new house? Why do you want that new relationship? When you look within and work on that, because most of the time what you want you might not have right now, but why do you want that? What is it within you that you can't give to yourself? Because when you can give it to yourself, the external world will then respond and you will see it externally as well, but you've got to give it to yourself first. You've got to. And so so that is why manifesting is so important, because it is your life. It is everything that you're here for. And we haven't been told that we've been led to believe that we have no control, that we can't control it, and that we are victims to what our circumstances and what happens to us. But you can,
and you just got to put up with the cards you've been dealt.
Exactly. It's not true.
No.
And the people, and you can see that with people, all the rags to riches stories. There's loads of people that are so rich, wealthy, have everything they wanted, and they started from absolutely nothing. Why are they different to people who haven't got loads of money and who are not living that way? They chose to believe that there was something more for them and set about going about doing it. But they will have along the way, whether they did it consciously or not, changed their beliefs to reflect that reality that they wanted. But then, and like we said, that important point is surrender. Once you believe that, once you will allow yourself to believe that manifestation is real and is occurring whether you like it or not, and you become conscious of it, you have to let go and trust. Because we live in this physical world and things take a little bit of time to manifest. For example, this podcast, this sparked as a thought 2 years ago in my mind,
so it's been manifesting for over 2 years now,
but I trusted that at the right time
it's
it
all
was
about
going to
timing.
Happen. It's all about timing.
So when it's not happening,
just keep at it.
Just
be so conscious of your thoughts. Be so conscious of the story you're telling yourself. We all tell ourselves a story, and I like to ask myself all the time, what story am I telling myself right now? If I'm feeling uncomfortable and I'm not, your emotions are a guide for manifesting. They are your guidance system. They're your guidance system for so many things. But we're talking about manifesting right now. Your emotions are your guidance system.
Definitely.
If you are feeling any kind of negative emotion, whatever that is, or an emotion that doesn't feel good, basically, it's a sign that you are on your way to manifesting something you don't want. Exactly. when you feel good and you feel excited and you feel hopeful, or, you know, whatever it is, gratitude, gratitude's the one. We'll definitely have to have a separate episode on gratitude, because it's the number one emotion that you need to harness in order to
highest
manifest.
frequency.
100%. But yeah, so when you're feeling those high emotions, you know that you are on your way to bringing that which you want into your life, that which makes you feel good, which is obviously what you want, into your life. And this is why you know, again, manifesting can get really overwhelming and confusing, because you're like, oh, I need to think about this specific thing, and I need to think about this and this and this, and oh my god, and what if I'm thinking that? Well, I don't want that. If you focus on a good feeling, let that be enough.
That is what's really helped me, is the feeling. Hold on to that feeling, because also when you're manifesting, it doesn't always manifest how you're imagining, does it? Which is interesting, but you find yourself saying, well, actually a lot of the time it can be better than you're imagining. And I think if you just hold on to that feeling of how you're going to feel at that time, then you can surrender and let go easier of what it's going to look like, and just concentrating on that feeling of happiness and fulfillment.
100, like, yes to all of that. That is the most important thing, you know. And I think manifesting is a journey. I think when you start, you want to be specific and you want to think, well, I want this thing, I'm thinking, but as you go along, you realize it comes back, you come full circle, and you come back to, I just need to manifest a feeling. And like you said, it's very rarely what you originally thought you wanted. It's always different, and it's always better. And you could have never imagined, when you look back, that you would have got to it in the way that it happened. But trust, again, this trust and surrender is the big buzzwords here for manifesting. And it's really, really difficult. Because when you want something, you know, so bad, which obviously you do when you're manifesting, it's because you want something, you know, the tendency is to really hold on to it, and you want it so much, and you're just like, oh, I need to control it. But you just don't. Just know, like, think of the universe, and, you know, or however you want to, you know, whatever you want to call, you could say the field, think of the universal field, think of source, think of God, think of the universe, whatever terminology feels good to you. Just think of them as like your, you know, magic helper behind the scenes that's taking the pressure off you. Your only job is to feel good. Is to focus on your feelings of goodness.
That's easier for them, I think, to interpret, isn't it? Is when they know what feeling you want. I think that you're working better with the universe.
And it's easier to hold a feeling and focus on feeling a feeling than it is to try and think of all the separate different things that you want and you're trying to think of. The thing is you have, this is why the law of attraction, obviously it's so deep, and you have to kind of almost study it to use it effectively, or consciously, I should say. There's so much to it, but I forgot, I've lost my train of thought. That's annoying. But you yes, I've got it back. You have got to focus on a feeling, and that is your main thing that you want to do. But before you do that, you do have to work out what it is you want. Because if you don't know what you want, you don't know how to get that feeling.
That's right.
So you do have to get specific and work out, to a certain extent, like what it is you're actually looking for. But then let that go. That's where the surrender comes in. Okay, so this is the kind of thing I want. You know, like, so let's take the podcast, for example. I knew I wanted to do a podcast. I knew why I wanted to do a podcast. I wanted to do a podcast because I didn't feel like social media was giving me enough time to speak more deeply about the topics that I want to speak about. You can't do it in a 1 minute, 30-second reel. And it was annoying me. I felt like I had so much more to express. I also felt like, you know, well, we thought together, didn't we, that our conversations were really helpful. They helped us, they raised our energy, and we wanted to share that with others. We knew why we wanted to do it, but we didn't know how it was going to happen. We didn't know when it was going to happen. We didn't know exactly what it was going to look like, what was going to be involved, how we were going to do it, the logistics of it. Like, I was so busy at work, I couldn't even think about, you know, fitting it in. You had so much going on at home with all of your stuff. It seemed, if you tried to think about it logically, that it was just never going to happen, and it was too overwhelming. But all we did is we held on to that feeling of, we're going to have a podcast. let it be.
We didn't worry about all the other stuff, did we?
Surrendered. We completely surrendered and just said, we'll know when it's time.
In fact, I thought, how on earth is Tash ever going to get me to do something like that? That's just... But actually, I knew she would. So I even let go of that.
Yeah. That's it. You did. We both totally surrendered because you have to detach from it.
Yeah.
Like, we really, really wanted it, but we were also detached from the outcome.
True. Yeah.
And it would always be there. It was always like on the back burner, wasn't it? It was always fizzing away. And even though we didn't talk about it every day, eventually it would come up.
Yeah.
And also another thing that we will have to obviously talk about in another episode is signs and synchronicities.
Yeah.
Massively important. Just like your emotions, they are guidance from the universe, source, God. They are so magical, so blatant, and so helpful.
Yeah.
If you allow yourself to surrender and let go. Because when you are not surrendering and when you're holding on really tightly, you will miss every single sign because you're so tunnel vision, so one-track minded. You think it's going to go in a certain way. You know, you won't see anything else. And it's like going back to that analogy that I used in that first episode about the warehouse, and you've got that torch on your head and you can only see what's in front of you.
Yeah.
When you're trying to manifest and you don't surrender, that's what it's like. You're seeing just one route of doing it.
Right.
Don't be so arrogant as to think you know how you're going to get there.
True.
Because the universe has such special funny they're so funny, isn't it? It's like funny ways, magical ways, unusual ways you would never even think of happening to get you where you want to be. So just take the pressure off yourself. Let the universe guide you. And those signs and synchronicities will pop up as long as you are open to
paying attention.
And we got them all the time, didn't we?
Oh my God.
And we held on to it and we were like, right, okay, that's another little, still on the back burner, still trust, surrender, until it got to a point in December, didn't it? Where I was like, we're doing it. January, it's happening.
And I was at a stage where I was like, yeah, all right, why not?
Exactly.
I'm just here for the fun.
It is fun.
I know.
It is fun. And that is it. We just held on to it. We aligned with that version of us that was sat here.
Yeah.
I mean, we both visualised ourselves sitting in here doing this podcast, didn't we?
Yeah, and I was just going to feel excitement and fun and spending time with you, and that's what I focused on.
Yeah, and I focused on just knowing that it was going to occur because I wanted to speak.
Yeah.
God, can't I speak? Sorry, guys. I can't.
We love it.
But I just didn't care how that happened. I just knew it would happen because I wanted it to happen. And so we aligned ourselves with that vibration of that potential of Tash and Becky doing a podcast. And we held that vibration. We moved limiting beliefs out of the way. For that whole 2 years, we were both working on limiting beliefs and beliefs that especially you worked through so many during that time, didn't you?
Oh, it's such a process and such a journey, isn't it? It's not always going to be instant.
No, it's not. But it's always worth it when you get there. And you also always know when you pay attention to your emotions, when you surrender and you listen to the signs and synchronicities, you always know that it's going to happen exactly when it needs to happen, and you know when it's the right time. So and then that potential of us just aligned and it manifested and now we'll continue to do it. We're continuing to do the manifesting for the podcast. We've got our little things that we're manifesting. And we'll hold on, and we're totally detached, but God, are we excited. And just watch this space, and we'll let you know when these little manifestations start occurring. I feel like and that's another thing, when you're on a roll, you feel it, don't you? Everything flows, everything goes super fast. So we were saying that sometimes it takes time, but once you're in the flow,
click, everything becomes easy. There's no blocks, and that's how you know as well that you're onto something, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's just, you don't really have to think about it. And I just wouldn't have dreamt that you could have got me sitting here doing this and having fun listening to you. And I knew you would.
Yeah, and that you've literally just summed it up there. You didn't know how, but you knew you would. That's your belief.
Exactly.
But you didn't know how was your surrender.
Clever.
So I think we probably wrap it up here. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like there is as we were talking, I was thinking, and we need to say that, and that there's so much to cover. And I think the next episodes that we do, especially if you find this interesting or helpful or want to know more, and let's be honest, you should want to know more, because it is what you're doing in your life. It is, like we said, you're doing it anyway, so why not do it consciously and, you know, productively and positively, rather than relying on the default negativity that we are as the human race. So yes, we will do more episodes, more specific, so that we can target and speak to just one thing.
Yeah, people might have suggestions of what they'd like to manifest.
Yeah, and also like the difficulties.
Yeah.
Like, let us know what kind of difficulties you've come up against, and that might give us an idea as to what we can talk about, and you know, tips and stuff. There's just so much we can do on the law of attraction. So if you haven't done already, please come and join us over on our official podcast Facebook community group. It's just a place where we can have more of these conversations. We can kind of interact together, and you can let us know, you know, your thoughts on the podcast, what you'd like to hear more of, what you would like to kind of like, if there's anything you wanted to kind of question or don't understand, and it's just, and also share, like, we want to hear your experiences as well. Like, we just want it to be a place where everyone can feel comfortable and safe to talk about these things that are not mainstream.
Sometimes we're worried to share, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly, and we don't want it to be that way. So come on over and join us in the Facebook group. The link will be in the episode show notes. And if you join us over there, you can then let us know what you would like to hear more of, whether that be about law of attraction and manifesting or anything else. We've had some amazing suggestions already. We're making a list of all the things that people want us to talk about, and it's actually really exciting because we've got so much to say on all of it, haven't we? And as well, we are going to be looking to get guests on the show to talk about even more things, so you don't just have to hear us banging on. So please come over and join us. It would be lovely to have you. Anything else we need to say?
Oh, no, I think you summed it all up there.
Yeah, if you haven't followed the podcast, please make sure that you do follow us on whatever platform you're listening on, so that you get notified when their new podcasts are released. And also, if we could ask a really, really big favour, for those of you who are really enjoying the podcast, it would be amazing, and we'd be so grateful if you could just take 2 seconds to leave a review. Some of them just let you leave a star, so you know, like a 5-star review. And some of them, you know, you can actually write a review as well. If you could at least do the star, that would be incredible. If you wanted to take the time to just write a short review for us, that would be so amazing, and we'd be so grateful. And the reason for that is that the more reviews we get, the more that they'll push the podcast out, and people will be able to find us, because we just want to share with as many people as possible. But once again, thank you all so much for taking your time to listen to us. We hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we will see you again for the next episode very, very soon.
Oh, thank you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.